Sushi jackknife. 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 Sushi jackknife.
What, whether they use snare or clap?
Yeah.
In hip-hop?
Yeah, you're not going to hear, like, a lot of clap during, Run DMC.
That's true.
That was some snare.
They were snare heavy.
Yeah. Or, I would bet that you're not going to hear a ton of clap in, we'll say Jay-Z.
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that.
No.
Definitely in Dr. Dre stuff, though. A lot of clap in Dr. Dre.
Dr. Dre is a whole separate thing.
He's a 808 man.
Yeah. Well, and Kanye's an 808 man when he produces, but he stays away from that and just does really weird crap.
That's true.
Because he's the greatest mind of our generation.
Apparently. It's interesting to hear an 808.
Yeah.
If you don't know what we're talking about,
do some research.
Do a little research.
Stop coming into podcasts without background knowledge.
Damn it.
What are we supposed to talk about if you don't know anything?
Wow. I feel like that was pent up for a long time. Yeah.
This is episode 87?
87.
I'm sick of these stupid listeners not knowing anything when they start listening, and then they're like, well, I don't know any of this stuff.
Yeah, all the comments we get. Yeah,
They're
about
all,
how they're pissed off that they didn't know what we were talking about. Yeah.
This is way over my head.
Go ahead and Google an 808, not O or OH.
Yeah. Although if you Googled that, you might still get the same thing.
You might, actually. Yeah.
I've never tried it. I don't know.
And you'll learn how the Roland Corporation invented a machine, I believe originally for the use of people practicing with, or if your drummer forgot to come to a gig, which does happen with drummers from time to time.
They accidentally created a genre of music.
They did. They accidentally created, they didn't create hip-hop, but they definitely created techno accidentally, and a lot of hip-hop.
They didn't create hip-hop, but they made it where it wasn't straight sampling everything.
Yeah, it wasn't like, if you've been watching The Get Down.
Which, if you haven't, you should be.
You should be. It's a good show.
Are you on season 2?
I haven't. Well, here's the thing. I haven't watched The Get Down.
Oh, you need to watch The Get Down.
So much as Diebert has told me about The Get Down.
Let me tell you about The Get Down.
Tell me about The Get Down.
So The Get Down, by the way, welcome to Sushi Jackknife.
Oh, welcome to Sushi Jackknife. We have to tell you why we were gone. But go ahead.
No, The Get Down.
Okay, fine, The Get Down. The Get Down.
Netflix original series. This series is set in the 70s during the birth of hip-hop.
Yeah.
When the city is, how do I describe this?
On fire?
In the midst of a hell-like period.
Yes.
We'll say that.
Yes.
Following the main character is a young poet who happens to meet a young aspiring DJ. And they begin hip-hop.
Yes.
I mean, they don't create it. It's already a thing underground.
Right.
But they're trying to break into the underground.
And the DJ is Grandmaster Flash, right?
There is Grandmaster Flash. Okay. But that's not the DJ.
Oh, it's not the DJ we're following.
No.
Okay.
What's interesting about it? So, first off, it's I'm blanking on the guy's name. The guy who did Chicago and The Great Gatsby.
Yeah, that guy.
Baz Luhrmann.
Yeah, that guy.
And if you don't know who he is, he's a weirdo.
He's a weird individual.
So,
and he did Moulin Rouge, too.
Yeah. So it's weird. He didn't do Chicago. I may have said the wrong.
Yeah, you did.
I don't care.
You meant Moulin Rouge.
Chicago. I didn't watch either one of them.
You should watch Moulin Rouge.
I don't do musicals.
Well,
I find them off-putting.
The Great Gatsby was weird. Anyway.
Yeah, well, the music choice specifically
was hip-hop, yeah.
Jay-Z did the soundtrack to a
movie about white people in the 20s?
Yeah. Makes perfect sense.
Right. Rich white people in the 20s, no less.
Don't think about it too much. Makes perfect sense. So he is doing this movie. So obviously it's not going to be a normal story. It's laid out with elements of like old-timey martial arts movies.
Awesome. That's
Which
actually
is weird.
awesome. That's cool. Well, they martial arts movies and hip hop have a lot of cross pollination.
Yeah, the first thing I thought when I was watching it was, oh, Wu-Tang.
Yeah, exactly.
I love this.
Yeah,
This is Wu-Tang. Anyway,
are we gonna talk about the Wu-Tang?
the Wu-Tang Clan. They're for the children, you know.
Yes.
ODB.
ODB. We're gonna drink to. Let's have one. One for ODB.
Anyway, so I recommend it. Have not watched season 2 yet.
Okay.
But season 1 was
Debert
good.
is in love with it. You might remember Debert from 20 some odd episodes ago.
You might remember her because she was dope.
She was dope.
Dope AF.
Yeah. Actually, she got me saying her plus watching Straight Outta Compton got me saying dope.
Well, at least that's the word you took away from Straight Out Compton. And you could have gotten in a lot of trouble going
Fuck
in
you,
different direction.
N-word. Yeah.
Yeah. Good movie, by the way.
It was good. It was a little self-congratulatory.
They did not focus enough on the negatives,
Right.
namely like Dr. Dre slapping a random reporter lady and things like that. But it was well done.
And even when
it was surprisingly well done.
It was surprisingly well done. And even when Ice Cube had his freak out moment in the movie,
Yeah.
Where he smashed up dude's place,
Yeah.
you kind of were like right on,
Yeah.
because they kept fucking with his money.
You were rooting for
They
him.
just kept fucking with his money the whole movie.
Yeah.
So, and the number, I've probably said this before, but if you are in the music business, just know the cardinal rule is never trust anyone named Jerry.
That's true.
That Jerry fucked them over. Especially Eazy-E. He fucked Eazy-E over real bad. Mm-hmm. And then Jerry Wexler fucked over a lot of other black people in the 60s.
It kind of makes me rethink growing up, seeing Tom and Jerry.
Right.
It makes me rethink the whole thing. Maybe Tom was...
Tom was an artist.
Yeah, and Jerry was just trying to destroy
He led
Tom.
him wrong. Yep.
I don't know. Anyway, welcome to Sushi Jackknife again.
Again.
Welcome.
Yeah. Well, this is a podcast where we talk about whatever the fuck we really want to talk about, honestly.
Why are you explaining it?
I don't know. I've never explained it before. Have I explained it before?
I don't know. We're 87 episodes in and we've never explained what this podcast is?
That might explain some things about our listenership, actually. How the fuck did we get onto the Get Down? We were talking about hip-hop. We were talking about drum machines.
Yeah.
Okay, so the 808...
Yeah.
That was a while back. Mm-hmm. The 808 is a classic of both hip-hop and electronic music.
Yes.
Then... Also, the Roland Corporation comes out with the 909, which is not so much with hip hop, but if you like electronic music or dance music at all, that's the 909 had a lot to do with that.
And also, go find better music to like.
Oh, come on! And then there's the 303, which is the bass line, which I bought their new version of the bass line this week. It's called the TB03. The original was called the TB303. Another like learning instrument, like it was supposed to like be something for guitar players to play along with. Holy shit, dude! It's so much fun.
If you want a basic tutorial on 808,
yes,
and this is the only time I'm probably ever going to say this.
Okay,
go listen to Kanye West 808s and Heartbreaks. Because I mean that's pretty much the entire album.
It's 808s.
Yeah. That's the only time I'm ever going to recommend that album to anyone.
You've heard, just put it this way, if you are in your 20s or 30s, you've heard the sounds of these machines a bajillion
you would recognize
times.
them.
You will recognize them. Yeah, you might not know what they are, but you'll recognize them. Yeah.
Anyway.
All classics. All accidents and all classics.
So that answers all of the people's questions they had about 808s?
I think so. That's all of them.
Yeah.
Well... See you guys next week where we talk about something else entirely. I don't know if you were... I'm sure you were paying attention to the news today. I watched the House vote today.
Yeah.
Streaming on the Washington Post's website, which is always a fun experience to see how our government doesn't work. Like, how it doesn't work at all.
Right.
Like, how people just yell at each other. Actually, it'd be better if they yelled more. you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So they passed Trump Care in the House today, which is, of course, a disastrous bill. Jen, my wife, explained to me earlier that basically one critique of this bill is basically if you're a woman, you have a pre-existing condition.
Yeah. Well,
which is not so good. Not so good.
It's got me all hot.
It's got you hot?
Okay, so first off, I want to start by saying,
yes,
as an unaffiliated voter,
you're a true independent.
I have no dog in the fight.
Right.
I did not think Obamacare was great. There were good points to it. But it's not great. So,
I'm listening.
Fixing things in Obamacare, doing whatever. Yeah, that would be good.
Fine.
What they came out with is the worst idea I've ever heard. So, as an unaffiliated voter with a child, this is my question, and I still have not gotten an answer here.
Right.
Recently, we received a diagnosis for our child. I have not, by the way, checked with my wife to see if I can talk about this.
I haven't heard this yet either. I know you guys were going in, but I didn't know what...
They did genetic testing.
Yes.
And he has a diagnosis from the genetic testing.
Okay.
Some long word.
Okay.
Whatever. Essentially, parts of his genetic strands, there are 2 strands.
Yes.
Swapped.
Oh.
So, there's like a shorter piece here and a longer piece here.
Okay.
Which means,
okay.
Like there's a list of possible things that could happen.
Yes.
Now, until he's 26, he's on my insurance.
Right.
We're fine with this. When my child becomes 27, having been born with a genetic defect, on this plan, is there any way he's going to have insurance if the state of Tennessee that he lives in at the time,
right,
assuming he still lives here, opts for the waiver to get out of pre-existing conditions?
I don't think so. Not under this plan.
And that's the issue.
Yeah.
So the Republicans, all the right-wing lunatics I keep hearing, keep bringing up personal responsibility.
Yes.
My 11-month-old
right, exactly,
has done a handful of irresponsible things. Today, for instance, he was eating he was eating some peas and vegetables, and instead of eating them, he put them under his butt in a seat. Now, that's not responsible. I will admit, my child lacks responsibility. Personal responsibility is not his forte.
No.
However, I don't think any of that might put him in the hospital. I think the things that might make him have to go to a doctor in the future or anything,
right,
were out of his control, whereas the peas smashed under his butt are in his control.
Absolutely.
So if the Republicans want to whine about people sitting on different vegetables, first off, looking at most of them, they'd have to learn what a vegetable is to begin with.
I think Mitch McConnell could benefit from spinach.
They all look...
He's a senator.
Look like they're on their last leg.
They do.
Like if you
as 2 white guys, us, right? As 2 white guys, are you a little bit sad about if we don't like get some joy in our lives? Are you a little bit sad about what we're going to look like in 50 years? Because like if you live a joyless existence as a white guy, as all Republicans do,
yes,
you end up looking like kind of like a sack of shit.
You don't have to, though. Look at Anthony Bourdain.
Anthony Bourdain.
What is he now? 900?
Is he a Republican?
No. I'm saying, though.
There you go.
To be that old, you don't have to look that way.
Well, but you do have to be that much in line with the empire.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
The dark side will do that to you.
You look at, we'll say McConnell, Ted Cruz.
Oh my God, Mitch McConnell. So one of my favorite comedians.
Whoa!
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm just going to say, if I found out any of them had scurvy, I wouldn't be shocked. I would be like, that's what happens when you live only on Wendy's and the occasional Little Caesars hot and ready.
I.e. Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, one of my favorite comedians frequently refers to Mitch McConnell as a albino cave salamander. So pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead and look up a picture of Mitch McConnell if you are by a computer.
Right after you finish reading about 808s.
Yeah.
If you're still reading about it.
And then the other. And
I'm
if you
assuming
have to,
you're like me.
Yes.
You Googled that, and now you're going through the list of every song that's ever used one.
Oh, my
which
God.
means you're going to be doing that for months.
Yeah. We'll see you later. So yes, the pre-existing conditions thing. By the way, my very intelligent wife also told me that they pretty much kept the good parts of Obamacare for themselves.
Yeah.
Like Congress is still getting all the benefits,
Right?
Which they had kick-ass insurance anyway, from what I understand.
So,
and the rest of us get the dregs.
so now it goes to the Senate,
Now it goes to the Senate.
where hopefully it will die at this point,
Yes.
because it's a very, very narrow majority.
It was.
In
It
the
was.
Senate.
It was. Well, yeah. It's a narrow majority in the Senate, and it. God, today, it passed by like 5 votes today or something. Yeah.
And in the Senate, they don't have.
Simple majority.
I mean, they have one vote to give. Isn't it 52-48 or is it 51-49?
Something like that. I'm not sure what the exact number is.
And unless they want to go nuclear again, they have to get 60.
Yes, they have to get 60. That's the big thing.
So I'm hoping that our friends in the Senate, this is for you, John McCain.
Oh, John.
They will round up everyone and say, "Hey, Democrats, come here. hey, moderate Republicans, come here.
Get over here. Get over here.
Tea Party Republicans, you can come here, but just like
Don't touch. Yeah. For a second.
Now, we got to come up with some ideas that, like, everyone likes for a little bit. And then the Tea Party people will go, well, I got an idea! And they'll say, hey, shut up. Rand Paul, shut your mouth.
Rand Paul can shut his mouth. He can shut his damn mouth.
I think one of these days, John McCain and Rand Paul are going to actually have a real throwdown fight in the middle of
It's going to come to fisticuffs. I can see it.
Mm-hmm.
And John McCain is an old man, but a tough man.
Yeah.
Every time I hear a soundbite of him on the news, I'm like, this guy, I'm fine with this guy.
Yeah.
This guy makes sense a lot. Not when he was running for president.
Well,
not against B-Rock.
I was talking
because I
about-
loves B-Rock.
I was talking about this before.
I did love B-Rock.
Well, I'm not going to get into it.
It's fine. It's fine. You don't love B-Rock as much as I love B-Rock. It's fine.
Well, the whole first election of Barack
B-Rock.
was mostly hype. Like it was like 95%.
Oh yeah, we were riding that hype train.
And
all
he
the
didn't
way.
say anything
of substance
during the campaign.
Well, a couple things, but mostly no. Yeah.
I like very little,
Hope and change.
very minimal, which is that's just a pet peeve of mine.
What was the other thing? Yes, we can. Mm-hmm. Yes, we can. And then when he won, yes, we did.
But John McCain's issue is John McCain was always a centrist Republican.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then
he's a realist, I think.
And then come we'll say 2004.
Yeah.
John McCain went, it'd be kind of fun. I'd like being president. So just in case anyone was curious, I'm now staunchly pro-life and really don't like gay marriage and all this stuff that he never had an opinion, or if he did, it was
exactly.
whatevs.
Yeah.
Military spending's good. I don't care about anything else.
He's a foreign policy, military kind of guy.
So then he changed his views for 2008, trying to win, then put the nut job as his running mate.
Yeah, it was not a good move.
And yeah.
When did 808s and Heartbreaks come out?
That's a great question.
Let's assume it was 2008.
That it's probably pretty close.
Yeah, it's probably pretty close.
If we're thinking through the Kanye discography here.
Yeah.
Let's see. I have it actually saved on my phone just in case I need to pull it up.
Is that right? You've got it all the time?
Well, I have Wikipedia.
Okay.
I may have been lying to you just now. That was 2008.
I think what happened is John McCain got himself a copy of 808s and Heartbreaks, and that just changed his whole trajectory.
That's what happened.
Life. And then he got sick of it, and he went back to his normal.
He was just sitting there listening to Love Lockdown over and over and over.
And over. Yep. I think that's exactly what happened. Can I read you a little something about today?
What is it from?
Where do you think it's from?
Breitbart?
It's from Breitbart. The Washington Post. Did Republicans wave bye-bye to their House majority? By Aaron Blake. As House Republicans proudly passed their health care bill on Thursday, Democrats trolled them hard. They sang, and I watched this live, na 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 na, na 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 na, hey, 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 goodbye, and waved bye-bye at the GOP. It was a pretty good one, as political gimmicks go. Basically, the Democrats were hinting at the fact that, okay, you assholes are going to pass this. It's going to be a fucking disaster. And you're going to get voted out in 2018. A lot of you are going to. Goodbye, majority, right? Hopefully that will happen. The Republicans on the other side were celebrating. Their aides were bringing beer. I don't know if you heard this today. Their aides were bringing Bud Light, thus cementing the fact that Republicans have shit taste in beer.
Not to mention, they also, that's all they drink.
Right.
They don't even have water.
That's right.
So if you hear about scurvy or dehydration.
Right. It's because of the Baconator and Bud Light. It's the Republican House diet. Their aides were bringing Bud Light into the Capitol after the bill passed today. Pretty hilarious, I thought. And I heard, it's funny because I was watching it live. I didn't have any context for what they were singing. Right. And I thought the bill didn't pass.
Yeah.
Because they were singing, na 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 na, hey, 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 goodbye.
Well, I have a theory.
Yeah.
That they had that song planned for either scenario.
Right.
Because, I mean, let's be honest. They're congressmen. They're not wildly creative people. They probably came up with one song and went, well, this could work for both, right? We'll just explain it this way. It's fine. Just
Jim Cooper, our local Democrat House member, was like, guys, I'm from Music City. It's hey, it's three A's.
Right.
Then good. There's a little, it falls there. Mm-hmm. Goodbye. I know you're from Wisconsin and you don't understand pitch. Hang on.
And most of the congressmen went, oh. That's music. Huh.
Put the Baconator down for 2 seconds and do it. Putting the Baconator down is just a good idea in general.
Yeah.
Put it down.
You remember when KFC had the double down?
Oh, yes.
I feel like that should have just been called the Republican Congressman. That's their diet sandwich. Like, low carb, no bread. Just give me that chicken and some greasy bacon.
Some sauce. Make sure there's sauce in there.
I remember when that came out, just out of curiosity, I looked up the nutrition facts. And actually, calorie-wise, it wasn't terrible.
Right.
Sodium-wise.
Off the charts?
I had a heart attack just reading how much sodium was in it. Oh.
It's like taking... Like, you know how they can take salt out of ocean water?
Yeah.
And how a lot of times people think that's a good idea?
Yeah.
Seems like a bad idea, right?
Desalination?
Yeah.
I mean, it depends.
I mean, unless you have to have it, I guess. But
yeah.
How much salt is in, like, a gallon of ocean water?
A lot of salt.
It's a lot.
A good amount of salt.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess that's the end of that discussion.
Yeah.
How much salt?
I mean, I don't know an exact amount.
It's a fair amount.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you talking about doing that to get salt or doing that to get
just like a ratio
pure water?
A ratio between like how much is in a double down,
right,
and how much is in a gallon of seawater.
Oh yeah, no, that's probably about equal.
Okay, that's what I'm getting at.
There we go.
That's what I'm trying to understand. Okay.
There we go.
All right, I feel better now.
Yeah,
thanks.
Good.
Thanks for making that happen for me.
I'm here to help.
I have a bunch of stinkhorns in my backyard, and that's not my neighbors. Do you know what stinkhorn is?
I feel like this is one of those things that could be considered a hate crime. I don't know.
Are we going back to the white people racist
I don't
slur
know
of
what
the week?
group you're insulting.
Stinkhorn. No, stinkhorns. I have a slight interest in mushrooms.
Okay.
Stinkhorns are a kind of mushroom. Mm-hmm. They look like. You'll know what I mean when I say this. Dicks, dog dicks, growing out of the yard. Okay, so they're like, yay tall.
Right.
They vary in size. They're pinkish, orangish, red-ish, and then they have a cap on there. Not like a mushroom cap though, more like a head.
Okay.
They have a head.
Okay.
And
so you got a bunch of penises in your backyard.
Yeah. Growing up out of the ground.
Well, that's what you want.
They grow out of an egg. It literally looks like an egg, like the flat part of an egg poking up out of the ground. And then, boop, there comes the phallus, right?
Okay.
The most attractive thing about them, and where they earn their name, is
the penis shape.
Well, and the head of the penis shape
right.
is covered in a horrid-smelling goo that attracts flies. Flies land on it. And then they spread their spores around. Last year, I had one. Literally one in my backyard. Just one. This year, there's about 25.
Now, is this welcome? Are we happy about this?
Besides their sort of phallic nature, they're kind of attractive looking. Like
mushrooms are never attractive looking.
I think they're interesting.
They're interesting.
They're kind of interesting looking.
But a lot of things are interesting that aren't attractive.
Marilyn Manson.
Every insect. Every one of them.
That's true. Yeah, They're
very interesting.
They are.
But at the same time, you never look at the underside of, a fly and
beetle.
Go, oh.
Yeah, here's what they look like.
That's cute.
Just so you know, not that people know. This is the third thing you need to Google.
This does not look like a penis to me.
Really? Are you saying I'm reading into it a little bit?
I don't want to accuse you of anything, but I think you see what you want to see there.
So I see 25 erections in my backyard?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's the dream. That's the American dream.
25 erections in my backyard. You can take that a lot of ways as you break it down. Kind of like what your earlier comments before you recorded on the Puffy Muffin.
Yeah. Well, it's no good. That's a terrible name for a bakery.
It's a bakery here in Nashville. Do you feel like we should open a counter bakery across the street that's just called the Swollen Vagina? Do you think we should do that? And see how it goes, see how it goes.
I'm just saying the name. It sounds like something Donald Trump would have said on the campaign.
Yeah, it does.
Like just slip that in there,
right?
And then people would have been like, "What? Wait, you can't say that. We should elect him president." And then they would do that.
He would say it to a member of the Bush family. Yeah.
Remember the good old days when he was debating everyone? Like there were debates, and that was the biggest concern. Is like, how did he get on the main stage at the debate? That's crazy.
Yeah, I remember those days.
Just reminiscing.
Yeah, I understand.
The golden days.
Yeah, the good old days when we weren't in the reality that we're in now. Did you hear that Hillary the other day finally said publicly, like, hey, look, if it hadn't been for James Comey,
okay,
if it hadn't been for blah,
I'm
blah,
glad you brought this up.
Okay, all right.
Because
You
I'm
want to
going to have
unpack
to
this?
take Hillary Clinton to task a little bit.
All right, you do what you need to do.
First off, yes, those things played into it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
The other thing was hacking.
We will concede this.
Yeah.
This is a fact. If you disagree with this, then you're a Republican. But if
You
you're
might
a rational,
be eating a Baconator right now.
if you're a rational person, then you see, yes, these played into the election.
Right.
However,
and this is not, I'm assuming this is not a pro-Trump argument in any way.
no,
It wouldn't be coming from
no,
you.
but it's actually Trump is not involved in this at all.
That's what I'm getting at. He's not a
Trump
factor.
is out in this argument.
Okay.
You remember in school when you would play a game in PE, and there was like the one hyper-competitive kid that would be making excuses like, oh, my knee hurt, my shoes were untied, the sun was in my eyes, all the time.
Like they were losing, but
Yeah.
They couldn't lose.
Okay.
It hurt to lose.
If the Democrats want to win the next election, they need to just shut up about the election. That election is over.
That's true.
Just
That's
shut
true.
up. Just
Yeah.
shut up about the election. Every time they bring up the election, then Donald Trump and his people, now he gets brought back in, get to talk about the election, and that's their only achievement, is that they won an election.
That's true. That's true.
Stop talking about the election.
To the point where he's pulling out maps and showing people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Every time Hillary Clinton goes, this is why I lost the election, they can go, well, we won the states that you didn't campaign in, because either way, she ran a horribly run election.
Well, in this, I've had this conversation with a lot of people. Was she qualified to be? Absolutely. She was so qualified.
She's qualified.
Is she a good candidate?
No.
No one. And it's not in this. And I feel like I can say this now, as someone who is fully supportive of a female president. She not. People don't like her.
It has nothing to do with her being a woman.
Gender. It really doesn't.
It doesn't even have to do with her politics.
Right. It has. It's just her. Something about her personality rubs people the wrong way.
I figured it out.
Yeah. Not necessarily me, because I voted for her, but other people.
Well, I voted for her, but I didn't like her.
Right. It was a vote against the apocalypse, which we're now living in. Yeah.
She is an immensely unlikable person because she's one of those people. So there are two people I wouldn't want to vote for president.
Okay.
And I've put this, I've run this through my head. It doesn't matter about their politics, just as people. They could agree with me in every way. They could be a clone of me.
Okay.
But a person with no experience is the first person I do not want to vote for.
Correct.
Take away, with Donald Trump, you take away the fact that he's a terrible, terrible, terrible human being. Ignore that altogether.
Yes.
Ignore the fact I don't agree with his politics in any way. Still wouldn't vote for him.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
Then on the other end, you don't want the person who seems like they would have been in school going, oh, teacher, you didn't assign us homework? We need. Why do we not have homework this week? I'd like some homework, please. Hillary Clinton seems like that type of person.
She does. Yeah, she does.
I don't want to vote for that person regardless of politics either.
Right.
So it's like you've heard you want a leader who's reluctant.
Right.
You don't want she's not.
No, she wants it.
Yeah,
super bad.
It's scary.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Yeah. Obama, and Obama's an anomaly for many reasons, but Obama, like, anyone who runs wants it, right? Obviously. Yeah. But Obama had this, like, overwhelming humility about him in a lot of ways. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think that made him sort of infinitely likable. You know what I mean? I also think a lot of people suck, and the vein of misogyny runs very deep.
Yeah,
I think that's definitely true.
I'm not going to deny that
is a factor.
That was a factor, but it was not a factor with people who were going to vote for her anyway.
That's true. That's true.
The people who were going, that's a woman,
right? We're never going to vote for her.
It didn't matter what Democrat was running.
They
we're not going to vote for the Democrat.
Right. Most Democrats or people that lean left at all are going to be fine with a female president. Yeah.
Most moderates are going to be fine with a female president.
Yes.
It's like the lower third of the right that is going to have a major issue with it.
The Steve Bannons of the world.
Right. The ones who are convinced that the first time a female president has a period, they're going to launch a nuclear strike. Never mind the fact that based on the age of presidents,
right,
that's probably not an issue.
That's a very good point. That's a very good point. She would not have been an ovulating president.
I mean, if anything, it would have been like a hot flash or something, and she launches the nukes.
Whereas,
not a thing that would have happened.
Whereas if Trump's T count dips, we're all in. It's bad news for everybody. It's bad news. He's just going to be pounding steak. I don't know what he would even do. Pounding Melania. Is that his wife or daughter? Wife. Okay. I didn't.
It's bad that you have to think about that, isn't
it? But every woman in his life looks vaguely similar. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
They all look, and they're not all related. They all look very similar to each other. Anyway,
even poor Tiffany, the forgotten one.
Poor Tiffany, the forgotten. This one's for you, Tiffany. Actually, every podcast is for you, Tiffany.
Real quick, I was thinking about this the other day when I saw the Trump children on TV.
How often do you see the Trump children on TV?
Far too often in my life.
All right.
Once in a lifetime is far too often.
Wow. That's
they're awful.
That's an inversion of a Talking Heads song, what you just said.
Okay. Once
in a lifetime, water flowing under. You said once in a lifetime is too often. Mm-hmm. That's a short poem.
So, the Trump children are not inherently
intelligent.
No, they aren't. But just looking at them, you don't look at them and just go, ugh. They're not.
No. Yeah.
Except for Eric Trump.
Well, yeah.
What happened in genetic structures that
you just wait,
in the genes?
Yes,
in the gene pool.
Yes,
you got Donald Jr.
Yes,
I mean he looks like a douche, but he looks like a human being, right? And you got You got Ivanka. Ivanka.
Oh, that's man!
Right. Okay. So
I'm Googling images. I'm sorry, Eric eluded me.
You got the daughters. They look fine. They look like people. You even have little Baron. Looks like a little tiny human being. And then Eric is a rodent. Eric. It's not that he looks as much. He looks like a rodent as he is. You would see that and call an exterminator. And I would feel bad about judging him like this if it wasn't for the fact that he's just an incredibly loathsome person to begin with.
Oh, yes.
Everything he says is just awful.
Yes.
And it fits with the rat motif.
This is just a random picture I clicked on. It's the headline is "Smirking Goon Eric Trump says."
I mean, all of the Trump children look like they need punched.
Oh no!
People shouldn't be punching women. Maybe a girl fight for the daughters, but two girls can fight. They can punch each other. A guy can't punch. I
guess.
But I'm saying they all look like they kind of need punched. Just the smarmy looks on their faces.
But
Eric It's just like a whole nother level with the guy.
It's a whole other level. No, I'm with you. I've seen Donald Jr. Donald Jr. looks,
He looks punchable.
Yeah, of course.
But like a normal level, like a normal human level of punchable.
Uh-huh.
And Eric, I just immediately dislike him when I see him.
Right.
And then he says things like, we shouldn't let immigrants in because if I gave you a thing of Skittles, but one was poisoned, would you reach your hand into the Skittles? He says stuff like that. And you're like, I don't like that person.
I clicked on a random picture of him, which led me to this. I don't know what I'm getting into here.
Yeah.
So just so you know, this is worldlifestyle.com. Sounds racist. The shocking truth about Donald Trump's 5 kids. The photograph is a picture of the Donald prior with a DeLorean. That's a DeLorean. He's sitting like with the door open on the edge of a DeLorean, and Ivanka is like 17, and she's in his lap, and it's weird. Anyway, Trump's children do a plethora of activities that you do not hear about every day. I'm sure that's true. I'm sure I don't hear about most of their days.
Like standing on top of Trump Tower and dropping rotten eggs on minorities.
Or going, I'm the king of the world! You probably don't know what our new first family does behind the scenes. You're right, World Lifestyle, I don't. You hardly ever even hear about Trump's daughter, Tiffany. Ellipses, until now.
Poor girl.
Check out what she does on a daily basis along with his 4 other children. Oh my God. How do I get there?
I don't want to know. I don't want to know what Eric does on a daily basis. At some point, it's going to be something that incriminates me once I know it. Like from 8 to 10 o'clock, he buries hookers in the desert.
9:45 to 10, incest porn.
Yeah.
Ivanka Trump and the Clinton family, this is continuing. Despite their parents' differences, Ivanka is close friends with Chelsea Clinton. Ivanka even donated money to Hillary Clinton's 2008 presidential bid. Really?
Yeah. Well,
really interesting.
There was, I don't know if it was.
I'm sorry. Advertising this page, truth that Alaska bush people are fake. I'm sorry. This is leading me down some weird roads. Please go ahead.
Oh man, I believe you may have actually found the real fake news.
I think I did.
There was an interesting, and I don't know if it was from this week, it may have been older, story on John Oliver.
I love John Oliver.
He did a segment talking about Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump.
Uh-huh.
And talking about how everyone views them as, like, they're there to rein in crazy dad.
Yes.
But how there's literally no reason for anyone to believe that that's actually true.
I'm with you. I'm following.
It's correct. Stuff like that, you hear about her donating to Hillary Clinton, and you do for a second think, oh, well, maybe she's a reasonable person that doesn't agree with all of her father's viewpoints.
Maybe there's that.
And then you see her defending something he says that you're like, people probably shouldn't defend that or say that or just run away from him. Just do that now.
Ivanka is the second child with Trump's first wife, Ivana.
Yeah.
So they changed one letter.
Yeah. It was real creative.
It's creative. And the most recognizable one out of the bunch.
Well, that's true.
She can always be seen juggling several business ventures alongside. I was making sure she wasn't just juggling a lot. She can always be seen juggling, period. Full stop.
I
can't read this shit anymore. Sorry.
I have just assumed, Jared Kushner.
Yes.
The son-in-law. I have assumed that at some point, right in front of Eric, Donald Trump has referred to Jared as the son he never had.
Oh, I'm sure that's true.
And Eric just hung his rat face down low. But he gets it. Like, Eric gets it. He understands where Dad's coming from.
The pecking order, I think, in that family is pretty obvious.
Yeah. It's Ivanka, Donald Jr. Somehow Barron's
zooming into third.
Is above then Eric.
Yeah.
And then like the family dogs that died a long time ago. The maids. The housekeepers in general, the people who groom the golf courses, and then Tiffany.
Yeah.
Way down there.
With a few Baconators in between. Yeah.
I always feel bad for Tiffany.
Well, you have to. You have to feel bad for Tiffany.
I think if there's one Trump I want on the podcast, it's Tiffany.
Yeah. We'd like to know her
Everyone
side.
talks about the other Trumps.
Pshaw.
I want Tiffany Trump on this podcast. She can Skype in. She can fly in. I'll lend her my guest room.
Oh.
If she wants to come.
Wow.
Visit the podcast.
You know you'll have Secret Service in your house if you do that.
That's fine. I mean, I'm going to walk around naked the whole time either way.
Good,
so.
good. You're going to make a lot of Secret Service people comfortable.
Yeah.
Probably comfortable.
Yeah.
Not uncomfortable.
I'm just going to walk around naked going, you got a gun there? Is that where you keep the guns? You got guns, right? Well, see you later.
You're pointing at their zipper the whole time. You got a gun in there? Hi.
Yeah,
Hi, guys.
Everyone knows that if Ivanka were here, she'd give her politically wishy-washy answers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Donald, I couldn't talk to. Donald Jr.
Oh, no.
I just the look of him, I immediately go, we're done talking. Eric, I feel like I would be instantly annoyed. Just instant, like the minute he walked in, I'd be like, oh.
You know what I would do with Eric? I'd give Eric a drink. I'd be like, Eric.
I do feel like if there's one Trump that would start spilling family secrets, it's Eric on like 3 whiskeys.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let me tell you about the time me and Donald Jr. stole the Goodyear blimp and crashed it into poor people. I feel like that would happen.
Have you ever held the family jewels?
But Tiffany, I feel like she'd come down here and just be like, no one loves me.
Oh, it would be all about Tiffany.
Yeah.
It'd be the Tiffany pout hour. Yeah. I think so.
She actually, when we asked her questions, there's like a 50% chance she would be so shocked that someone is asking about her that she might just lose it.
She's a bit like Miley Cyrus's sister, right? Like, being that my wife was in surgery this week.
Right.
We haven't been here. It's a long story. Your family was sick.
Yeah.
My wife broke her ankle pretty horrifically. Like, not just like a break, but like a big break. Mm-hmm. So she had surgery on Tuesday. It was bizarre. There weren't a lot of people getting outpatient orthopedic surgery that day. Okay. She was back there for 5-6 hours or so. The receptionist left. There was no one else waiting. I was literally alone in the waiting room trying to figure out how to unplug the TV because they had daytime television on. CBS, by the way.
Well, it's the best daytime television.
Right. CBS was on.
What, is that the talk? Is it the talk on CBS?
The talk was on. I saw the talk.
I just can't ever remember.
I didn't need to see the talk.
Which show of catty women is on which channel?
Well, Sharon Osbourne's on that one.
Okay, because there's the talk and there's the View.
The View.
There are others.
The T. I think the T is one of them. Yeah.
Whatever.
Anyway, the talk I think is substandard to the View. I think the View is actually probably a lot better than the talk.
I will be honest. I have not watched a full episode.
Pretty sure the View includes Whoopi Goldberg and
that's true.
Rosie O'Donnell.
But doesn't the talk have I'm blanking on her name. She's a comedian.
Curly hair?
No. No.
No.
Aisha Tyler.
Yeah, she didn't say much.
No.
I
like Aisha Tyler.
There's a lot of Sharon Osbourne, to be honest.
See, I don't like Sharon Osbourne.
And in the morning, she's not right for the...
No,
she's a
not,
creature of the night.
Sharon Osbourne's not morning entertainment.
Exactly. Thank you. Anyway, that was a weird divergence. It was like being stuck in North Korea. The television was on, and I couldn't turn it off. And they recycled the same stories all day long. I know all about Jimmy Kimmel's Baby and how it lived.
Well, to be fair, that was like one of the best moments of late night TV.
It was.
Ever.
He cried on TV. Yeah. Jimmy Kimmel's Baby was in bad shape, and it is okay now.
A blocked artery into the heart. What was it? And
something.
So the 1 day old baby had to have open heart surgery, which is what you want.
Right. That's what you want. That's a horror scenario.
Yeah.
Later on the news, I got to see flashes, and this is why I don't watch fucking television anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't turn the TV on and leave it on in our house, like my parents did, because you get flashes of baby with open chest cavity in the middle of your day. Like, whatever you're doing, I was drinking Lipton tea because that's all I could find.
Hot tea?
Hot tea. There was no coffee.
Okay.
And it was one of those Coke machines.
Where did you guys go for surgery? A back alley?
Dude. A little bit nicer than a back alley. Not too much nicer.
You're right.
Dude, the Coke machine wouldn't take a 5.
Well, that's standard.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Well, no one had change. Well, the receptionist didn't have change, and then she left. So
maybe she was trying to find you change.
I'm pretty sure she never made it back. So, there was another baby in the middle of my day with its chest being held together with like plastic.
Yeah.
And I'm like walking around trying to read a book and block all this shit out, and then there's that. I'm like, oh my god, like it's intense.
Yeah.
The local news was reporting how some like middle-aged woman on meth like jumped on a school bus and sexually assaulted a 15-year-old boy. Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
This happened in Nashville.
Yeah.
Wow, that was interesting.
See, this is what happens when you get out of your Washington Post.
Oh my god,
bubble.
dude! Look,
there's a whole nother world out there.
There's a whole world of apartment fires and children being sexually assaulted. It's not good out here.
You need to get out of your Washington Post news bubble and just experience the world. You haven't lived until you've experienced politics through the eyes of Jeffrey Lord on CNN.
No, I think I've lived.
No, you gotta see Jeffrey Lord. Jeffrey Lord, he will take everything Trump says and then double down on that and then double down twice.
He's on CNN?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I mean, they have to have a balanced view.
I guess.
So they invite Jeffrey Lord, and then they have 3 people saying they're rolling their eyes at Jeffrey Lord while he talks.
Did we talk about how Bill O'Reilly is gone?
No, I was actually saving that for some quick hits.
Quick hits!
So, because we haven't been here...
yeah, you can blame it on my wife, guys.
And the plague.
Yeah, you guys had the plague.
I thought I would have a special edition quick hits, all focused on Bill O'Reilly.
Oh, I like that.
In memoriam
yeah.
of his great, illustrious career that he flushed down the tubes.
Hey, by the way, did you get the posies I sent over to help with the plague?
I did not.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Flowers to Go is going to hear about this. Okay.
So I thought, hey,
posies.
What are some of Bill O'Reilly's greatest quotes from his illustrious broadcasting career? So I found a few illustrious career quotes here.
I'm into it. Let's do this.
From Bill O'Reilly. All of these are from Bill O'Reilly, not from me. I want that abundantly clear before I say any of these things out loud.
It is very clear.
If I'm the president of the United States, I walk right into Union Square, I set up my little presidential podium, and I say, listen, citizens of San Francisco, if you vote against military recruiting, you're not going to get another nickel in federal funds. Fine. You want to be your own country? Go right ahead. And if Al-Qaeda comes in here and blows you up, we're not going to do anything about it. We're going to say, look, every other place in America is off limits to you except San Francisco. You want to blow up Coit Tower? Go ahead. Bill O'Reilly.
Wow.
After San Francisco voted to ban military recruiters from city schools.
Wow.
It's an equal reaction to what happened, right?
Of course. By the way,
Level-headed reaction.
California, please don't become a separate nation because the rest of us are fucked.
That's not going to happen.
I know, but
they need
they
need the rest of the states. The rest of the states
need them.
Desperately need California.
We have to have below average Chardonnay.
Exactly.
Just saying.
I just wish Katrina had only hit the United Nations building. Nothing else. Just had flooded them out, and I wouldn't have rescued them.
That was Bill O'Reilly?
That was Bill O'Reilly.
Oh my god. What a fucker. Okay.
I was wrong. I'm not pleased about it at all, and I think all Americans should be concerned about this. What do you want me to do? Go over and kiss the camera? That was on Good Morning America after they brought up the fact that he promised to publicly apologize when no weapons of mass destruction were found.
Charlie Rose was beating off in the corner while that was happening.
I
love you,
couldn't
Charlie
get
Rose.
over the fact that there was no difference between Sylvia's restaurant and any other restaurant in New York City before I continue this quote.
What?
I want to reiterate, not me saying this.
Okay.
Bill O'Reilly said this.
Okay. Understood.
I mean, it was exactly the same, even though it's run by blacks. Primarily black patronship. There wasn't one person in Sylvia's who was screaming, MFer, I want more iced tea. That was Bill O'Reilly speaking about his 2007 dinner with Al Sharpton in a famous Harlem restaurant.
Al Sharpton had dinner with him?
Yeah, I wonder if he regretted that.
I bet he did.
The shut up line has happened only once in 6 years. That was in response to a viewer saying if he was so concerned about public figures being bad role models, he should probably stop telling people to shut up on his radio show all the time. This one is one of the reasons he is no longer employed.
Yes.
So anyway, I'd be rubbing your big boobs and getting your nipples really hard. I'll let you look the rest of that one up.
Oh, wow.
It involves a falafel.
Falafel?
Yeah, I take the other hand with the falafel thing and I just, put it on your puffy muffin.
Oh, is that what that says? Is that what it says?
Something like that. I'll let you know it's something Donald Trump would grab.
Oh.
That's where he puts falafels.
He really said falafel?
Falafel. It's on a voicemail. They had to give this person many millions of dollars to go away because Bill O'Reilly offered to put a falafel on her lady bits.
He doesn't strike me as vegetarian.
Well, I didn't. It doesn't say he enjoyed it. Maybe he just happened to have a falafel around. Yeah.
He puts food on people?
Falafels, specifically.
Specifically.
And then finally, the most important Bill O'Reilly quote.
Okay.
From his book, The O'Reilly Factor for Kids.
Is that a real book?
Yes.
Holy fuck.
And guys, if you exploit a girl, it'll come back to get you. That's called karma.
Well, he just got a big falafel sandwich full of karma.
I don't know if that is an indicator that he hires ghostwriters, but
who can see the future?
I'm going to go ahead and say he did not read what he published.
Boy George would have something to say here. Karma, chameleon.
Yeah, and then he'd want a falafel.
Yeah,
not the one. We just talked about him enough that he's hungry for a falafel. He doesn't want the one that Bill O'Reilly was touching.
No, a different falafel.
We all know where that falafel's
There's
been.
really good falafel in the mall. Sometimes
mall falafel.
Sometimes you get it just right.
Yeah.
Falafel. That is bizarre. I'm
of
really,
all the foods to pick,
right? Like I know, like people, like I have this scene of people having sex with food, Well,
And it's always falafels.
Well, no, sex involving food from the Drew Carey Show.
Okay.
Did you ever watch the Drew Carey Show?
A bit.
Yeah, it's worth your time for what's his face and the other guy.
Oh, yeah. What's his face and the other guy?
Yeah,
That actually was my favorite 70s cop drama.
what's his face and the other guy?
Yeah.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Tall guy and vaguely Jewish guy.
Yeah.
It's worth it for that. But there's a whole episode where he has sex with a woman and it involves food. And there's like
Falafel?
pizza. There's no falafel. There's like pizza like draping over her body and stuff. And
that's odd.
Isn't it? It is, right? I mean, of all the,
Yeah.
I just don't.
If I were to come up with a list of foods that are stranger than falafels to put into that context.
To put on someone's vagina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing I can come up with is either trail mix or Nature Valley granola bars. For some reason, that seems like a very weird choice.
Wait. Nature Valley, just to be clear. Nature Valley are the crunchy ones.
Yeah, they're the ones that hurt when you eat them.
Yeah. They're torture bars.
There are shards involved.
They're oat shards.
Yeah, oat shards.
Yeah.
I believe that's the most
We
popular
should
flavor.
be in branding. We really should.
Oat shards.
Oat shards for your mouth.
Stab yourself with flavor.
Can't you handle it?
That's the thing. They've been trying to advertise like as this nice, like you're outdoorsy, relaxing.
Nature's Valley.
They need to go extreme.
They do.
Yeah.
They do.
Stab yourself in the mouth with flavor, Nature Valley.
If only the Macho Man was still alive. He'd be perfect for this. Snap into a Valley bar. And then he would bleed from the mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have literally bled from the mouth from a Nature's Valley bar.
If you're not bleeding by the end of a Nature Valley granola bar, you're not doing it right.
You might not be alive.
You're not doing it right. That's how you know you have a bad granola bar. If you're eating it going, this is pleasant.
If you're going to don't put that in anyone's orifice. Don't.
A falafel or a Nature Valley bar.
A falafel is soft inside.
Yeah.
You could caress with a falafel.
But
a granola bar, no.
The thing that, and not to get too into it.
Let's get into it.
Couldn't you lose a piece of a falafel?
Oh yeah, there's no
very easily.
Look. There's
not a lot of structure to a falafel.
The cardinal rule with this is it has to be bigger on the outside than what goes inside, or you might not get it back.
Yeah,
and that's a problem.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
there's no safety mechanism on a falafel.
Here's the question I have.
Okay,
when that woman got that voicemail
about the falafel.
Yeah,
and
how he would rub her boobs and. Which, by the way, if you're talking dirty and you say boob...
Gross.
For some reason, that's weirder.
It doesn't go.
That just makes it weird.
No. Breasts is a sensual word. I'm just saying.
Boob. I'm going to catch your boob.
Are you 14 and in a movie?
Well, based on his knowledge of what you do with ladies,
Look,
yeah.
Bill O'Reilly has never given a woman an orgasm. Just saying. I'm going to put that out here right now.
But when that woman got the voicemail,
yes,
from Bill O'Reilly,
right,
was her first thought, well, I'm about to be rich? Or was her first thought, did he say falafel?
Oh, second one quickly followed by the first one. Yeah.
Was that falafel? What would he do with the falafel?
Let's be honest. That's not the dumbest thing he ever said to her.
No.
He said way dumber things to her.
That's just the dumbest thing that was
recorded. Exactly.
I mean, she worked at Fox News with him. Him and Roger Ailes probably just sat around going, hey, we got all sorts of ethnic foods over here. Why don't you come over? We got things we could do.
Have you ever had pad thai? Gross.
Hey, what you want to do with this shawarma? And of course, Roger Ailes, just wanted to eat it. He wanted to eat everything.
He wanted to eat the shawarma.
Everything.
All of it. Yeah. Pad Thai?
Yeah.
I'm in. Yeah.
So, and in addition to Bill O'Reilly being gone, his protege, Jesse Stone...
Oh, I don't even know about this one.
...is gone on
good
vacation.
Oh.
It was an unexpected vacation after they were watching Ivanka Trump speak at an event.
Right.
And he said, well, I don't know what people are talking about. I really like the way she talks into that microphone.
Oh, God.
Which could just be a dumb comment.
Yeah.
But knowing who he is and where he's at, he thought that was a penis.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And can we just say, it doesn't need to be said, but I want to say it. I mean, how detrimental has Fox News as an entity been to, I don't know, our democracy in the last couple decades? It's been
pretty bad.
Pretty detrimental to our democracy.
And
they make a fuck ton of money.
It's also proven something to me.
Okay.
So, in my mind, the two polar opposites are Fox News and MSNBC.
Right.
MSNBC is Fox News for liberals.
Yes.
They're going to focus on their conspiracy theories that they are going to push over and over and over.
Yeah.
Fox News is going to focus on theirs that they're going to push over and over and over.
Correct.
However, Fox News' ratings are way better than MSNBC.
Oh, off the charts comparatively, yeah.
MSNBC, no one watches that. Which proves
I don't even watch
me,
it, and I'm pretty liberal, yeah.
It proves to me that there aren't nearly as many insane Democrats out there
right.
as insane Republicans.
Thank you.
Or at least... if there are, they're the ones who go, I don't even own a TV. Which
is sort of what I was saying earlier. Like, it's not on. Like,
but the smug, oh no, I haven't seen any of that. We don't really own a TV. We don't do that. Those people.
Nature's Valley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The people who think kale is one of the 4 major food groups. Those people.
It's not even kale anymore. It's got to be something else by now. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is anymore. Mm-hmm. That's good. I don't know what it is. I'm out of the loop.
Congrats.
Thanks.
Congrats on
I
not
don't
being
watch
in the loop.
MSNBC.
I don't think MSNBC would talk about kale. They're too busy having Rachel Maddow talk about Donald Trump's tax returns every single night forever.
She's fun to watch, though.
It's never going to happen.
No, it's not going to happen. It's not going to... Well, it should happen, but it's not going to happen.
It should happen. A lot of things should happen.
Of course.
I can come up with a whole list of things that should happen. I should be given $1 million. I have several reasons. We could go into that if we needed to. But those things aren't happening.
Right. They're not happening.
Let's move on to things that are happening. Like, healthcare or the fact that Trump doesn't know where his military fleets are headed.
Or
things like that.
Hey, just got to say it, right? Mm. We were texting each other this week. Texting each other this week.
Yes.
And it's been said, and it'll have been said more intelligently than we'll say it, but hey, as it turns out, it's harder to be the president than you might have thought.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's harder than fucking people over on real estate forever and branding yourself.
It would be pretty easy.
Yeah, me too.
But it's really hard.
It's tough.
And now that we're past the 100 days, this is the last time we get to talk about the first 100 days.
It is.
So, the one thing I want to bring up is Donald Trump, as you might recall, on his own, unprovoked, created a contract with America.
Indeed.
That was his 100-day plan, which he fulfilled none of. Not one thing. And so, his response to that is, 100 days is stupid and arbitrary, which is true. However,
yeah,
you're the one who pushed it.
Yeah, he pushed it. He pushed it.
It is a stupid, arbitrary number. I agree.
We all know.
But if it's a stupid, arbitrary number, maybe when people say, hey, your first 100 days, instead of, I don't know, writing a whole piece about all of the numerous things you'll get done in that 100 days, at that point would be the time to go, 100 days is an arbitrary number. I'm not participating.
Yeah. I opt out.
You can't volunteer to play pickup basketball, play to 21, and then at 20 points go, 21's a stupid number. I'm not playing anymore. I'm going home. Like, that's not how it works.
You're exactly right. That is not how it works. God, man, I've been listening to just a lot of different programs about how he's sort of lavishing on praise for not just Putin at this point, but Duterte, the guy in the Philippines, who's killing people at an astonishing rate. Our buddy in Egypt, whose name I don't know, Erdogan in Turkey, and last and least, Mr. Kim Jong-un. Mm-hmm. So for whatever reason, we've just been, the praise factory has been going on for these people. And look, if it's that's sort of the point, that the counterpoint to what I was, my immediate thought is, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then my other thought is like, well, that might be sort of intelligent. It's not ethical.
Right.
It's not ethical to lay praise on people who kill people and have gulags and all that. But if it's strategic, or even not strategic, but like...
I tend to think it's just purely ignorant.
That's definitely a factor. It's definitely a factor, yeah.
Like, I feel like he starts out praising someone, and then some aide goes, hey, just like, so you know, he was just like executing people last week, just because it was his birthday and he was bored.
Right.
Like, he needed something to do. And Trump goes, nope, I already did it. It's going to keep happening. And then he says it 900 other times because he can't ever admit that he wasn't right about something.
Right, yeah.
And so that's my theory.
That's a pretty good theory.
I think that may be part of how the whole Putin thing even started, is he said something, well, Putin's a great leader, and someone went, hey, no, it's not really.
Bill O'Reilly went.
He is. He's great. Fantastic. Best ever.
Bill O'Reilly went, he's a killer.
Yeah.
Putin's a killer.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. Even Bill O'Reilly. When disgusting Bill O'Reilly is a voice of reason in a conversation, that's a conversation that's gone off the rails.
Oh yeah. That's a conversation that has no rails.
No.
It's on air rails. It's on Coke rails.
Yeah.
That's a conversation on Coke rails.
Okay, so we're past the 100-day mark.
Yes.
Trump is still handing out electoral maps to show his victory to various reporters who just come into the Oval Office to talk to him, not to receive weird pieces of paper that he has pre-printed just in case someone wants one.
Uh-huh.
At what point does he stop mentioning that he won the election and no one thought he would win? No one thought he would win.
At what point?
Yeah, what point does he stop? I have a correct answer here. I just want to see
if he wins again, he'll stop.
No. That's not the correct answer.
What's the correct answer?
When he dies.
Oh, okay, when he dies.
Although there's still like a 50% shot. His tombstone just says, like, the electoral vote count. Just so everyone knows.
Right.
So many red states. That's all it's going to say on his tombstone.
What's Mike Pence doing? He's fallen off my radar a little bit.
Nothing. He's just... Mike Pence and Steve Bannon are just like kind of hanging out somewhere right now, just with nothing to do, while Jared Kushner takes over every role in the Oval Office.
And RP Because no one knows what to call him.
Who knows what he's doing? I
Right.
haven't seen him in forever. Yeah, that's another. That's another part of the John Oliver episode.
Oh, really?
He's talking about Jared Kushner's roles in the White House. Here's a quick list of what we have, and this is from Fortune magazine 2 months ago.
All right.
Well, a month ago. There's been more added since then.
All right. I'll take it.
Advising Trump is a role. Reinventing government. That's right. He's the head of the new Office of American Innovation.
Oh, wow.
And so there he's in charge of, just like fixing the VA.
Okay.
No big deal.
No biggie.
Being a diplomat. He has to be a diplomat to all of the different countries.
Where there's hotels. Mm-hmm. Got it.
Mm-hmm. He's in charge of brokering peace in the Middle East.
Okay.
The list keeps going on and on. He's a man of many talents. Although none of these things have happened, so he may be a man of no talents. I don't know. He can come on the show too.
Oh yeah, I talked to Jared.
We could dish about in-laws.
We could.
I bet he's got
some
good in-law complaints. Do you think that he has arguments all the time about like who they spend holidays with?
Like I said earlier, in the music industry, never trust anyone named Jerry. Mm-hmm. In life, don't trust anyone named Jared.
What about Jared Fogle? Oh. No, that was bad. You shouldn't trust him. Adding to the Jerry, we can actually roll that out into life too.
Let's do it.
Jerry Sandusky.
Oh yeah, Nope.
He was worse than Jared Fogle, possibly.
I
don't know. It's a toss-up. They were both very bad.
It's all bad. Yeah, just J names in general.
Yeah.
Jared, Jerry.
I'm trying to think of a good J.
Yeah.
Jay Leno was not a good host.
No.
I like Jimmy Kimmel.
I do too.
So there's one.
I feel like J.I. though, it's like almost a different thing.
Jimmy's fine.
Jimmy's are
okay.
Yeah.
I can't name a bad Jimmy.
There's no bad Jimmys.
But the other J names...
It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Pretty bad.
Mm-hmm. Well...
It just won't close tonight. Have you noticed that? It's just not closing.
No, it's closed.
Is it closed?
I think that was good.
Was that all right? I don't know.
Email us.
Oh, we haven't done that in ages.
Yeah.
sushijackknife@gmail.com.
Yeah. Do you even check your email?
Oh, yeah, it's there. I check it every day.
How many times a day?
Fucking phone. Not as often as I look at the play count, but pretty often.
You should be checking it, I would say hourly.
Yeah, it's probably close to that.
Maybe every 30 minutes then.
No.
I just want to see improvement from you.
Look. God damn it. I don't have a comeback for that.
You're never going to be the next Jared Kushner at this rate.
It was on my list, but it's one that I can let go of.
Yeah. We're going to feel so stupid when he actually brokers peace in the Middle East.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, well. I'm okay with it.
Sushi Jackknife.
Sushi Jackknife.